To this week's podcast. I am going to talk to you all about feeling disappointed. Woohoo! What an enjoyable topic. But seriously, I think a lot of us really don't like feeling disappointed. I mean, really, who does? So then what happens is we don't do things, we don't try things, we don't do something new to avoid the disappointment, which means then we're just disappointed ahead of time because we don't do things or try things that we really want to do or try for fear of them not working out. Now, what's really interesting alongside my disappointment is I'm going to tell you why I'm disappointed, but there's part of me that really doesn't want to do that because there's a little bit of a shame factor attached to it, which is really fascinating. My brain is so I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you then why I'm feeling shame and why I'm feeling disappointed. So, and then I'll tell you how I deal with it so that you can practice doing it as well. So as you know, I'm a life coach. My niche is helping working mums. And one of the things I thought I could do to help working mums for that and put value into the world for free before to give someone an idea of what it's like to work with me is I'll put on a workshop. Very excited about this workshop. How to stop struggling with the juggling, which I feel every single working mum deals with. The mums that I speak to, and you might not even be a mum listening to this, but you'll probably still have it in your life. You're kind of torn, you're just rushing from one thing to the next, and you can't sit down because then you feel guilty because there's all these things to do. So I was like, right, I'm going to put on this workshop. I was really excited about it. Been talking about it on social media. I felt like I was putting it out too much. Maybe that was the problem. And then no one showed up. Now, the shame part of me doesn't want to say this out loud because there's part of my brain that goes, well, you're a coach, Nikki. You're a leader in your field. You should know how to get clients. You should know how to encourage people to come to a workshop. Don't tell anybody because they'll think you're shit. So shame makes us want to hide away. I'll do another podcast on shame if I ever feel inspired. But if you are wondering about shame, Brené Brown is amazing to listen to. She's got brilliant books. I love listening to her on Audible. So if you want to know more about shame, head over to her. But the thing about shame is shame wants us to hide away. And by noticing it and recognizing it and labeling it and voicing out loud what you believe you're ashamed of actually reduces the shame. Shame doesn't thrive when it's being seen, it thrives being unseen, which is why we want to turn away, hide away. But I want to talk to you about the disappointment. So the reason that I was feeling disappointed is because I had an expectation that I was going to be able to help in my brain, like hundreds of people. I'm going to be able to help hundreds of mums. And, one day I have no doubt I absolutely will be. So but also logically, I was like, I would just love even if 3 people turned up, 3 people would be a celebration for me because I would really be able to help those 3 people in our time together. And I knew that fundamentally they would go away feeling so much more empowered, feeling so much calmer, feeling ready to take on and actually do their to-do list. And yeah, actually enjoy their life rather than rushing from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. So I really wanted to help at least 3 people. And I got myself ready and I got myself all prepared and then nothing. And then I thought I'll just give it a couple of minutes because some people might be a bit late and isn't that funny? Late to a time management. Still nothing. And so I thought I'd just give it to 1/4 past. And if no one's here by 1/4 past, I'm done. 1/4 past, nothing. So I closed down the Zoom meeting. And at that point, this is what happened in my head. You know that voice that you have in your head? I have it too. Every single human does. And this is what I hear. Oh my God, you are so pathetic, Nikki. No, see, no one wants to hear what you have to say. No one likes you. You can't do it. Everybody else can. Look at how brilliant your husband's doing. Look how brilliant your other coach friends are doing, but you can't do it. And it was loud. And it felt really fucking true in that moment. So, of course, when my brain is screaming something like that at me, kind of gonna feel disappointed. Like you can hear the emotion in my voice. You can see it if you're watching me. It feels shit. It feels shit. And then I'm like, I'm done. I'm ready to give up trying to grow my business. I'm ready to give up trying to get clients. I'm ready to give up trying to help people. I'm done. And then I'm like, but you're not actually, Nikki, are you? Like, that other part of me, that higher wisdom is like, yeah, you're not actually stopping, are you? So I got my dog, I got her lead, I put her lead on, and we went out for a sniff. My dog's really old, so what takes me 5 minutes takes her like 20. Not so much because she's slow, but she sniffs everything. She doesn't really want to walk, she just wants to sniff. So I'm like, right, I'm going out, I'm going into the fresh air just for 20 minutes, and I'm just going to let myself listen to my brain. And that's exactly what I did. I went out, the air was beautifully clean and fresh. I breathed in and I just listened to that voice with absolute fascination. And it was saying the same shit. You can't do it. Everybody else can, but you can't. You don't know how to help people. You don't know how to build a business. You're pathetic. See, no one actually wants to hear what you have to say. No one likes you. This is what was going on in my head. And because I've learned and practiced this skill of mind management, I was able to just listen to it and breathe and understand that in some weird way, it is trying to keep me safe. Because if I listen and believe that thought, I will never put myself out there again. I will hold myself back. And that's what that part of me wants to do. That primitive part of us doesn't want us to be seen. It's been very dangerous at times for women to be seen. But I'm not willing to keep buying into that story anymore because we're not in that time and place anymore. So I become aware, this is my simple ABC method, right? I become aware of what that voice is telling me. I become aware of its opinion. Excuse me, I just want to take a sip of a drink. Thank you. I just become aware of its opinion. I breathe. So A, aware. B, breathe. I breathe and I understand. It's coming from a time that we don't live in anymore. It thinks that me staying safe is keeping is and holding back is me being safe. It it's been generational trauma of women handed down to me. I get it. I get it. So I breathe and I understand. Okay, thank you. I also understand that that voice is not telling me the truth. Your voice is not telling you the truth. It's just an opinion that every single primitive brain gives us. And then I get to choose. So A, I became aware. B, I took a really deep cleansing breath and I understood. C, I chose. Nikki, in her higher wisdom, what is she going to do with this situation? Well, first of all, it's given me the most amazing opportunity to talk and teach you how to deal with disappointment because I am literally processing it as we speak. And it's just about hearing that voice, recognizing it in your body and breathing and knowing that you're safe. Now it's going. The disappointment is eased already. So it's given me this beautiful opportunity. And what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go, right, what worked? what did actually work? Well, I did an amazing presentation. I was excited. I talked about it on social media. That was things that I did that worked that maybe I'd never done before. I was prepared. What didn't work? People didn't turn up. And then I can start to get curious. Why was that? Maybe it's the wrong time of day. Maybe I didn't tell them enough. Maybe I hadn't explained the value better. So what worked, what didn't work, and then what am I going to do differently next time? I can see this as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to grow and move forward. And when I think about improving and moving forward, and the women and the mums that I will be able to help, gets me excited. So now I've moved away from disappointment, and now I've moved into excitement. I can get curious. I wonder why people didn't turn up. This is an opportunity to learn. And I love to look at it, and this is a choice and it's a practice, that it's win or learn. There is no fail. There's never a fail. You're going to win because you're going to get what you expected, or you're going to learn something that's going to make it so much better for next time. So if you're curious now about my workshop, here's a date for you to save. I can't remember what it was. Bear with me just a second while I look at me in my calendar. I'm going to be doing this presentation again on June the 13th at 12 o'clock. So I've deliberately done this time because children are at school, so you don't have the distraction of children like you would in the evening. It's at 12 o'clock, which is over a lunch break. Now, this is the 13th of June, 2024. So if you find me in a couple of years' time and you're listening to me in 2026, I hope it's an amazing there with you. But this is 2024. So if you are listening to me in a few years' time, which is kind of a bit trippy to think about, then just head to my website and you'll be able to find there, I'm sure, all the things that I am now offering that you can join me on. But if you are in 2024 and you're listening to this before the 13th of June, get registered, because this workshop is a brilliant introduction to time management and mind and emotional management. And I don't actually care who you are. I think everybody needs to have these skills, which is why I want to teach it. If you don't want to wait till then, or whenever it is for you in your future, if you want to have a chat with me, let's have a chat. If you're curious about working with me, if you like my energy and you're like, I think I want to work with her, please get in touch on all the socials. There's a link in the show notes of this episode where you can book a time to have a chat with me, and let's connect. I really hope this podcast, first of all, has helped you realise that nothing has actually gone wrong when we experience disappointment. It's just an unmet expectation. And two, when you allow yourself to feel it, like I did when I went out on the walk, I listened to my brain. I became aware of my how my body felt, and I just breathed into it. Never once did I make how I was feeling wrong. That was one thing I didn't do. But you can just go down into your body, fully experience the emotion, and now it's disappeared. Talking it through. If you've got an amazing friend that's going to listen to you without judgment, that's going to listen to you and not feel the need to pipe up with their opinion, just listen to what you have to say, that's really helpful. And if you don't have someone in your life, then get yourself a life coach. Even if you don't resonate with me, find one that you do resonate with, because having that interaction is phenomenal. And I think essential, especially as a working mum. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you all again next week. Bye.